I think this is it. I better go in here and see how this out life assurance for you, love. The wife is getting on in years. I suppose I better put a few bob in her. I wonder is this the place for the policies?
Yes, okay. And about how much mileage would you do in a year, say? Okay.
Excuse me, sir, is this the place?
Just a moment. I'm on a very important phone call. I'll be with you as soon as I'm finished.
Oh, sorry, sir, sorry. Well, I'm going to have to get this woman insured now anyway, no matter how long it takes. I suppose I'll have to hold on till he's ready.
Very good, yes. I'll post that certificate out to you straight away. Now, my good man, what can I do for you? I presume you're looking for some insurance?
Oh, that's right.
Okay, take a seat. And if you wouldn't mind, now, I'll just get the relevant forms here. So, firstly, do you want comprehensive or third-party fire and theft?
Fire and theft?
Well, in case somebody stole her.
Sure, there'd be no fear of that now at all. Sure, they'd leave her back as soon as they found out what they had.
And did you bring her with you today?
Oh, indeed, and I did. Sure, I always bring her with me to do the shopping on a Saturday. Do you want to see her?
I'm not sure out of time. I mean, normally I'd go out and examine her and take her up the road for a spin to see if there was any problems, like rattling her big end or something. But we'll leave that for the moment.
Well, because, sir, no, I didn't think you'd be doing that kind of thing at all.
Oh, yes, one cannot be too careful these days. I'm used to dealing with all kinds. Mind you, there's so many new models out now that it's very hard to keep up to date with them. As a matter of fact, I was reading about one the other day which goes around bends at over 100 miles an hour.
Oh, my God, sir, that'd be a handy one to have around the place now.
And she wouldn't even be in top gear at that. You have to put your foot down for good performance.
Well, I have to agree with you there now, sir. You have to be firm and strong, or sure else you'll never get anywhere.
Yes, I've been tinkering around with them since I was about 18. Put a good many through my hands by now. When I was younger, I went for the more sporty types, you know, good and fast, plenty of speed. You know the ones I mean, with the big headlamps and the low, slinky lines. But in later years then, I tended more towards the larger ones with plenty of upholstery. More for comfort than speed.
Aye, so wise, but you're an awful man. I never thought you were that kind of a fella. Well, now, I wouldn't say now she's that fast around corners or anything like that. But I look after her fairly well, and I give her no great heart.
Right, okay, well, back to the form now. Have you got her long?
Well, I have her a fair bit now. She's not too young at all.
Is she an antique by any chance?
No, sir, you have a great sense of humour, but I wouldn't be talking about her like that. After all, she's
my good man, in this business we always refer to them as antiques, or even old crocs. I mean, after all, they're not human, are they?
Well, there's times I'd agree with you now, sir, but you get very fond of them all the same.
Okay, so I gather she has a fair bit of mileage up on her by now?
Well, sir, no, I never really brought her that many places, unless, as you say, the mileage was on her before I got her.
Is she a Ford by any chance?
No, she's a Morris from the far side of Strafford.
Ah, right. Continuing, did you trade in an old one, or had you many to pick from?
Well, I had a good look around now, in fairness, and I picked the one outside, like, and I got this one through the Farmer's Journal.
And before you made your final choice, did you have anyone look her over? Check out her chassis?
Well, no, sir, I didn't know, to tell you the truth. Like, I'm a fair judge now myself, and well, I'm happy with the one I chose.
Now, has she been resprayed, or are there any bumps and cracks on her?
I so wise, you're an awful man. I've never noticed any cracks anyway. Maybe a few wrinkles, and sure, she's turning a bit grey.
She has a spare tyre, I presume?
Sir, sure. Don't they all have them these days?
And do you keep her in at night? Is she left outside?
What sort of a man do you think I am? Of course I keep her in at night, under the same roof as myself.
And how does she behave in the mornings? Is she a bit sluggish?
Because her now, I never had any trouble with her that way. She was always great for an early start.
And on cold mornings, do you have to choke her to get her moving?
I so wise the questions you asked. No, I do not. I wouldn't be that harsh on her now at all.
And how about her suspension and shock absorbers?
Did I hear you say something about suspenders and getting a shock? You see, I'm a little bit hard of hearing.
Never mind, we'll leave that one. I presume she gets the odd wash and polish?
Huh? Sure, she gets a wash every Saturday night, ever since we got the water in.
Well, you seem to be looking after the old crock fairly well. What else? Yeah. Does she ever overheat?
She did have a high temperature the night of the big frost.
Can she pull a trailer?
No. Sure, the best she can manage now is a wheelbarrow.
Okay, well, I think that completes my questions.
Well, thanks be to God for that. I never thought to be so many questions. To take out a bit of a policy.
I know, yes, I know there's a lot of questions to be answered. But it looks like she's in remarkably good order for her age. You see, I'm a bit of an enthusiast myself, and I was just wondering if I called out to your place, would you mind terribly if I brought her for a spin? You know, up around the quiet back roads? I'd be very careful, I promise. No damage. Wouldn't get any scrapes on her. I could call out on Tuesday or Wednesday, if that suited.
Well, you bloody blackguard. I've never been so insulted in my life. Talking about my poor wife like that.
Your wife?
I'll report you to the guards.